so I'm just taking a walk down to my favourite local restaurant. I'm also scouting a route that I can take running that avoids those wild dogs. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey. Okay. I guess that's another route I cannot go down because that is not very comfortable. The MH Curry House.
Good evening, boss.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Thank you. Delicious. That nasi lemak with vegetable curry, 2 parathas and dal and a tea was 10 ringgit, so £1.80. They've got it in the small variety, but it's not good value. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. And our old friends Snooker and Dairy Milk together again. Well, it's another very mild and pleasant day out here today. I'm heading off for some chicken and rice, which is one of their national dishes. It's just kind of boiled chicken and rice, I think. Not something I'd get really excited about, but I've been having a lot of rich curries recently, so give it a go.
Still got, huh?
Chicken?
Chicken, this is chicken.
Yeah, I'll do
Chicken having here too.
Yeah, have it.
Okay, take a sample.
Hello. Oh, hello, preggers. Hello. What's happened to you, dear? Hey? What's happened to you? Well, this place is huge and practically deserted. Just a 10-minute taxi ride for a couple of quid and it's free entry. Well, the fact that this is so well maintained and it's not filled with people having noisy, messy picnics. I mean, this is like a real inner city park as well. One of the best I've seen. Well, it'll be very nice to come for a run here. Might come tomorrow morning. Good, very good. I went to the mall after the Botanical Gardens, and the restaurants were just overpriced generic food. And I just thought, get yourself back to MH Curry House. And the first curry house I went to on my first night, they just give you a little bowl of curry, whereas MH Curry House let you serve it yourself and you can really pile it on. So I had that delicious lamb curry with vegetables, tofu curry, rice, and a bag of lemon tea. 10 ringgit. Oh, what a place.
Ini 17.
3 kilos of mango for 10 ringgit. My next door neighbour gets in from work at about 1:30 in the morning, starts plugging stuff in and doing I don't know what.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Slow night.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Hide the bag. It's warming up. This camera's finished. It flicks to digital zoom, which isn't really the right camera. So annoying. And one of the things I'm loving about Kuala Lumpur is the Grab taxi service. It's less than, it's £1.50 for a 10-minute ride home. Here he is, old Yi Chun Chi. Oh no, that's VIP. There it is. Hello, good morning.
So the MH Curry House.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you. Did enjoy the chicken rice yesterday. Stick to some nice, simple Chinese food for my early meal. Then some fruits in the afternoon, and then hit big curry in the evening. That's my new routine. Ooh.
Well, that was absolutely outrageous. To even go for this,
See, the good thing
let alone get it.
about my favourites going out early is I can just watch the snooker and enjoy it for the game it is. And then I can discover new players, and this young this young Chinaman here entered the competition as a qualifier, currently in the semi-finals, leading, and yeah, he's a good player. Best thing about solo travel is that you just don't need to make any decisions, really. You just wander out where you like, eat wherever you happen to be. If I was with someone, there'd be this constant, you know, what are we doing today? Where should we go for lunch? And that's not necessarily from whoever I'd be with, that's just what happens when you travel in a 2 or more. Your days must have pre-planned activities. You can't just wander out the door, or else you'd be wondering, you know, where are you walking right now? Where are you heading? You have to agree where we're walking to. We can't just walk out the door. I'm going with the creamy butter. Well, that was a nice signature creamy butter noodles. Very interesting. £4 with extra rice and lemon tea. It's fine. It's fine. One thing I've noticed that I enjoy is you often see Indian people in the Chinese Malay restaurants and vice versa, each enjoying the other's cuisine. It's not just divided down racial and ethnic lines. It's all very mixed here, so it's nice. All it takes though is a couple of insecure old blokes to start getting agitated and saying there's not enough Punjabis on this government board, we're being oppressed, and then it'll all start to flare up and people start feeling entitled or oppressed. You know, it's what happens, unfortunately. But very nice, multicultural, developed city here. The roads are always, there's never gridlock like you see in New Delhi or Jakarta. There's no loud horns. It's just a really excellent place, Kuala Lumpur. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. No more family-sized dairy milk here. Well, Mark Allen and Mark Selby are locked in a grueling safety battle in this arduous game. It's one for the purists. Yeah, it's not very entertaining. But I'm gonna head off for dinner. I really want a curry, but there's a dim sum place around the corner I think I might check out. It's gonna be more expensive and not as nice as a curry, but
Poor strike there from Mark.
these two are so dull. Look at them. Poor ambassadors to the sport, these two, compared with the other semi-final.
You know, all you will be, you put a lot of
Do you have chung fun?
Sorry?
Chung fun?
Chung fun. You want a Hong Kong style one?
Yeah. real stuff. The sticky rice and the chung fun, that's where the real value is. It cost me 22 ringgit, so £4, £1 a dish. It's not too bad. It's not as good value as the curry, obviously. That goes without saying. I won't say it again. But I could probably eat that all again, so I will need a little bit of something else. Mark Allen and Mark Selby's snooker display has really put me off going back to the room for a while, so I'm just going to go for a wander. So obviously, as you know, my dairy milk dealer has run out of family bars of dairy milk, but it's part of a chain called 99 Speed Mart, so I'm going to another branch to see if they've got any. Not sure this is even an official 99 Speed Mart. Oh, they've got it. They've got it. They've got them. Hazelnut ones as well. So it's a bit of a further walk than my local, but as long as I don't eat both tonight, then I can prove to myself that I can carry stock in my room. So yeah. Oh, this guy's got some good stuff. You have no more. This guy had some of those curry things yesterday, but he's got none left. Can I shock you? I have not worn flip-flops in Malaysia. Just when I'm out walking, I just prefer trainers and socks. And then for around the hostel, and even if I'm going to the shop next door, slippers are a much more comfortable choice, and these are all just not very comfortable. So arguably one of the most legendary backpackers of my generation, I've turned my back on flip-flops. So I'm actually just gonna throw these out now because they're useless. So gone.
3-point lead. No bad thing. Reduced his arrears to 22 points. Anywhere near the circle would be good.
Far from easy with the weight on the cushion.
These guys are real potters of the ball.
But right in the heart of the pocket. He has potted.
So we've got these shelves here, and these are mounted on the wall, and my neighbour's one is right next to my pillow, and they're like unplugging, plugging, unplugging, and they're like, the sounds are like just moving stuff around like that, and it lasts for so long. And I spent some time outside their door this morning just trying to work out what was going on in there, because it just sounded like inane rattling and moving around that just never ended. But anyway, this might reveal more about my behaviour than theirs, but anyway, I've still got another 3 nights here. But I was up late last night watching the snooker. 2 very different semi-finals. You had Mark Selby and Mark whatever. They were really boring, and the other 2 were really entertaining. And now you have the boring versus the attacking in the final. And I actually made a video about this a few years ago. It was a video of me just around my house before I moved out, and I didn't upload it because I thought it was a bit boring and self-indulgent. But we're at a stage now where, you know, I don't need to worry about that anymore really. So as a little vignette, I'm just gonna show you that video now of just my final weeks in my house in Surrey, England, before I moved out. So here you go. So as I mentioned in a previous video, my house has now sold, and these are my final 2 weeks in this home, where I've lived for the past 7 years. And I've been packing up basically all my belongings over the last few weeks as I prepare to move out. And I came across this old journal entry from the days where I used to run a small food van that I used to drive around the local area into events and sell food. And the journal entry itself was extremely mundane. It was just a description, like up at 5 a.m. preparing chicken and rice and noodles. But anyway, it was an interesting insight into what I was doing on a day-to-day basis around that time. And inspired by this entry, I thought I would do something similar in video form as a record of what my life was like around spring of 2021 as I prepared to move on from this old familiar way of life. So I don't own any storage furniture anymore, so there is quite a bit of stuff lying around the house. Thick black coffee, and then upstairs to do some French studying. Now, I like to have toast for breakfast, but I don't actually own a toaster anymore. I used to have a toaster. It was this toaster, but I naively thought that all toasters were the same when I bought the cheapest one in the shop, but it turned out that this toaster, the openings were far too narrow for all but the thinnest of slices of bread. Now, this was most painful around Easter time because I love a nice hot cross bun, but I know when I bought them that they're going to be too wide for my toaster, and I always end up having to kind of smush the thicker half into the really slim opening, and this would just push the bun too close to the heating element. It would end up burning, and then it would just stick to the metal support, which means I end up having to kind of pry these burnt bun remains out of the toaster, and what should have been a nice Easter treat just becomes a bit of an ordeal because I bought the cheaper toaster, and it has served as a warning against buying cheap junk. Oh, and the toaster just ended up just toasting half the bread, so I threw it away. And now I just microwave my morning bread, and it's fine. Yeah. Oh, and this is Billy. He's my neighbour's cat. He's the reason I feed my cats upstairs now, because he just hangs around and waits for his moment to sneak in and find food. Oh, I have started feeding him with the food my cats don't eat. Now, it's generally not a good idea to feed other people's cats, but these neighbours are fairly unbalanced. They have lots of rubbish hanging around outside their house. I can hear their dogs barking day and night, so Billy's hunger might be genuine and not just feline greed. And now it's time for a nap. Mid-afternoon. So after this 2 weeks is up and I move out, I will have to say goodbye to my cats, who I've lived with for 5 years. They are just great fun to have around. They're going to live with my ex-wife, and I know they'll be well looked after, but it's going to be really hard to say goodbye to these guys. For dinner I had some leftover butternut squash and red cabbage that I'd cooked the night before in the pressure cooker, and I just smushed this into a baking tray and fixed myself up a little lasagna. lots of cheese. Came out pretty well. And then back to bed to while away the evening in front of the laptop. This is how I spend hours from 6 p.m. till about midnight. But tonight I'm fortunate because it is the final of the World Championship Snooker between Shaun Murphy, the magician. He's a bold attacking player who will take on more challenging pots.
Does have a safety, mind you, but he's having a go. Oh, yes! That's an extraordinary. I would, under normal circumstances, that's a...
And his opponent is Mark Selby, who's much more measured, tactical player. He plays percentages, he takes his time, he won't take unnecessary risks. He's pretty much the exact opposite of Shaun Murphy. So you have a final that's like a battle of archetypes. You have the attacking, bold risk taker against the defensive, measured tactician. So Mark Selby has been leading for most of the match. He only needs one frame to win, and he has a long red to the bottom left corner pocket, which really will win him this match and the World Championship.
He's got to fully commit. This could be the championship in this shot.
He doesn't take the pot on. He plays safe, and was it the right decision? Well, here we have a turning point in the match because he's left a loose red for Shaun Murphy, and unlike Selby, Murphy will take his chances if he sees an opportunity, and so he gobbles up that loose red to the middle pocket, leaving himself nicely on the blue, and he's only 2 frames behind at this point, so he is right back in the match. And Mark Selby, maybe the safe shot wasn't right at this point, and Murphy just does what Murphy does, and he's just smashing in these balls. And he's ahead now, and he just needs this red and this pink and this loose, this red on the cushion there. He slots in the red, but this is not ideal position for this red. It's right against the cushion, and it's just a very difficult shot basically. Now, should he play safe? Well, that's not in his DNA really. He's a shot maker, so he has to go for the shot.
He's just having a second look. I think he was, when he first got the rest out, I think he was going to go for the pot, but now he's having second thoughts, I think. That's dangerous if you're still going to take the pot on.
Agonisingly close. Those are the margins that you can win on, lose on, and it's left Selby with an absolute gift. He went for it and he left it on for Selby. So Selby, needing just 1 frame to win, cleans up, and it's always a bit of a sad day in sport when the kind of defensive, slow player wins against the creative, the engineer beating the artist is always a sad day in sport. But fair play to Mark Selby. He's good at what he does. So that was that, and you can see my point about the artist against the engineer, and I always like to think at the heart of every sport there is a reward for the flair, the attacking player. Messi, Federer, Ronnie O'Sullivan. But Mark Selby's doing it really boring again. His match lasted till 1 in the morning UK time last night. So again tonight we have a battle of styles. Luca Brissell, who has blazed through this tournament with bold play, and boring Mark Selby. So there we go. That's later tonight. I've got the dairy milk in. Left my umbrella outside the 7-Eleven last night. Let's see if it's still there. It's not there. I've lost my umbrella. You pregnant? Hi, Amrit. Yeah. I'm good, how are you? Did you find my umbrella outside? I left it here I think I left it outside last night when I came here. It wasn't there? Oh, it's gone. I'll have to find a new one.
Damn, you lost your umbrella?
Yeah. Chatting to Amrit in 7-Eleven. And yeah, he works there 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. He's just stuck behind that counter as I'm swanning around. Do feel for him. Mechanical engineering graduate from Sheffield, can't get a job, so it's just, didn't ask what his salary was, but I guess it's not very much, just stuck there. I'm very lucky just to be able to do this for the time being. It's my papaya lady. No papaya today. No papaya? It's gone?
No, today no papaya. So big. I want the small one.
Hello. Food hall doesn't look very lively. Bye.
This apa? Metalam.
Metalam.
Metalam. This apam.
Apam, and this?
Lapis.
Lapis. Pantry is back up to full strength, and that Nasi Lemak place does these, bakes all these local desserts. Really cheap, just half a ringgit each, so like 10 pence, and they're nice. But one of the other reasons I came to Kuala Lumpur is that a couple of my friends have just moved out here with their young daughter for her work. So I'm heading over there now, hang out with them for a bit. That should be good. Oh, they're close. See, this is how foreigners live in Kuala Lumpur. Thank you. Got dairy milk here.
Totally unlike.
Got snooker here. The very best of Britain, right here in Kuala Lumpur.
They were definite shocks to the system.
It's high. It was just high. I must admit, it was going to drift in on the nap, but it just stayed there.
Salamat. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Changing rooms from old Rattly next door. I need to get away from whoever that is and whatever they're doing. 12:30 every morning they just start and it lasts till about 1 o'clock, given several bangs, and they just don't stop. I did deploy a bit of revenge noise this morning. I just started rattling around when I got up at 7, just rattling around by the wall like they do. So it's not big, it's not clever, but I'm at my wit's end here. I've got a window. I've got a window, look at that. That is nice. The green mango. I think I'll make this the last mango content for a while. Have a break after this one. Look at the colour. Look at the colour on that. It's a bit different. It's not as sweet as the other ones. A bit more melony. Another lovely evening here, not too hot out right now, and just searching for somewhere to have a bit of dinner. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nasi. Thanks.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that was a good. That was ferociously hot. I'm not going to lie. Luckily, I've built up my tolerance so I can eat it without losing my composure and embarrassing myself. But 10 ringgit which is pretty standard for all you can eat self-service curry around here, which is good. Massive queue here for this, I think it's just a nasi lemak joint over there. Yeah, nasi lemak. Pretty standard around here. See, this is what I like about living among local communities in Southeast Asia in general. People are just out and about, families, kids. And where my friend was staying, well, will be living for the next 4 years. Condominiums, they're nice places, but you don't really get any connection with the local people, local culture. It's all like nice restaurants and yeah, luxury apartments. But I mean, it's an easy enough city to get around, but it's nice just to be able to wander out straight out the front door and you're among the locals and nice local restaurants. Well, I'm coming up to where I was attacked by a pack of wild dogs out running the other day, so they're going to be there. Just got to face up to it. Rains are coming. Blimey. Wow, it's got dark. It's difficult to show you just how big this apartment block is. It's absolutely enormous. There's another one over there. Any second now, I'm about 5 minutes from the hotel, which is a long time with these downpours around here. Just in time. I mean, that's ridiculous. Look. A wearing it practitioner. Always good to see. Doesn't even slow down. Just accepts his fate.
Just out there, enjoying every minute of this, under
84.
these circumstances, is outstanding. Have a look at this shot. This is just beautiful to watch.
You see, what makes snooker such a good sport is Luca Brissell was so far ahead. It seemed like a formality that he was going to win this final, but when you get close to that finish line, your skills and confidence abandon you, the pressure intensifies, and the player behind is playing with a freedom he has nothing to lose, and a contest that seems one-sided can just turn in an instant.
Absolutely stayed down on the shot. What a performance. He's been like a breath of fresh air. He's lit up the tournament. His performance against Mark Williams, against Ronnie O'Sullivan, and we will never forget that comeback.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Well, you just can't get better food than that home-cooked Malaysian buffet next door. That plate of food just now was 4 ringgit. All freshly cooked. Fish, rice, vegetables. What a place. Well done if you got through all of that in one shift. But that's it. Sorry if you're not into snooker or mangoes, but thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you in the next one. Excuse me, you can't do that here. You need a food hygiene certificate. You need a street trading license. You need to register as a sole trader with Companies House. Just trying to sell some eggs to my neighbours.